Good evening, Miss Poole.
Hello, hello.
My name's Sheriff Cuff. Can you state your name, please, and your occupation?
Miss Jean Poole, that's spelled G-E-N-E, but I'm named after my great aunt Jean, but hers was spelled J-E-A-N, but it's a little bit different. My parents wanted to go and be modern with the times, you know.
So they give you a man spelling?
Yes, it's something very masculine, you know.
I understand. So, what do you do?
Well, I'm a genealogist, of course.
Right.
I also sell some jewelry. If you see here, I'm wearing some of my items. They're vintage inspired. Annie Up may have a couple too. I recently sold her some pieces, you know, within the past year.
Okay, so it's very nice. Thank you for showing me that.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go over your statement here. You were at the library. Can you tell me why you went to the library during this? Of course, I'm here to tell you we're here to investigate the unfortunate demise of Mr. Slane.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I was there doing genealogical research. Obviously, in that back room, that West Virginia room is just full of information. It is just a treasure trove back there. But I'm having the hardest time finding this information on Aunt Jeannie, and I had to go through book after book after book. It was just a trying experience, and I'm telling you, if I have to go through any more books, I just might burn down that library myself. I mean, not really, though.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Slane, are you related to him?
Distantly, yes. Third cousins or so, but I'm sure you know. I knew your father anyway. He arrested my cousin Ferdinand. He's the shame of the family. But I am related to just about half this town. My family are the founders, not the Poole side, my mama's side, the Winnifests.
So you got all kinds of information. You're like kind of up in everybody's business.
Well, I try to stay out of everybody's business. I don't like to be involved. I just hear a lot.
Alrighty. So we're going to go through your statement here and what you did coming into the library. You said obviously you're working on genealogy work.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw some people out front. The first person you saw was Bunny come in. That's what was
Miss Bunny Love.
Miss Bunny.
Mm-hmm. Yes. She came back into that West Virginia room. I don't know what for. I just wanted her out of there. You know, she likes to say I annoy her whenever I try to talk to her. But if I have to listen to her talk about saving bunnies one more time, I just might lose it.
I understand. I can't imagine you annoying anybody at all.
Oh.
So then you saw Annie Up. She come around and going toward the computers. Can you take it from there?
Well, she was coming around from the stacks there and went towards the computers, and I had walked into the West Virginia room. I assumed she was using the computer for one of her gambling problems, but you didn't hear that from me.
Hear what?
Nothing.
Good.
And then I was back in the back doing my research, going through those books. You know, I was just so enveloped in my work, I really didn't see anything going on.
Okay. And I guess you showed your jewelry to her too.
Oh yes, she loves to buy my pieces. Yes, she's bought some rings, she's bought some earrings, some dice earrings that were beautiful. But she recently purchased one of my favorite items, which is a vintage inspired ruby ring. She purchased that, I think it was back in November.
Dice earrings? So do you have like fuzzy dice hanging off your ears or anything?
Oh no, sir, no. They're actually like little diamond encrusted dice on your ears.
Okay. Well, let's get back to this.
Okay.
So let's look at this. You also saw Hollywood come in, and she turned down the second aisle books, which is the fiction section.
Yes, that's right. She went down towards those tables that are there at the front of the library. She comes in sometimes when I'm there, and I see her down there working on whatever play she's in that week. Poor thing. She has this fantasy of being on the silver screen, and we all try to give her the best encouragement that we can, but you know, it's not looking too good.
Understandable. And I've already interviewed some people, and I interviewed the Miss Sue Yu. She's quite the lady. So she was on the phone. Did you hear anything about what she was speaking about?
I didn't hear anything specific. I just heard her talking loudly, and I assume, knowing Sue, that it was about suing someone.
Okay. So then you wrapped up your finding and your information, and then...
I wish. I still have so much more to do. In fact, do you know how long the library is going to be closed?
Not at this time. You'd have to get with them.
Oh, okay.
And then you heard a scream. So go from there.
I heard a scream, and it was just terrifying. I didn't know what was going on, and I ran out of the genealogy room there and saw everyone kind of in a cluster back towards the corner where the mystery section and that fiction section is, that large corner back there. Everyone was just kind of standing around, and I walked over, and there was a body there, and you could tell it was Wayne, but from the way he was laying, you had to kind of get a little closer to him to figure that out.
So, it says he's your cousin.
Again, distant
Right.
cousin, yes, probably the third cousin.
How well did you know Wayne, even he was your third cousin?
I didn't know him well at all. I mean, I heard things about him, of course, but I didn't know him.
Heard things?
Well, he was meddling in some of that same business as any of gambling problems and such.
Was there anything illegal that you know of?
Well, I mean, I don't think that gambling is illegal unless you get into, let's say, keeping records.
Okay. So there were a record somewhere that might be of
I'm not
interest to
sure.
investigation?
It's been of tale.
So it sounds like Mr. Wayne, with the gambling, may have had enemies. Do you know of anybody who might have?
Perhaps. I don't know of anyone specifically, but when you are in something that nefarious, of course you make enemies.
What was his relationship with his former employer, Mr. Dieselcraft?
Well, Diesel's his brother-in-law, so I assume they have a decent sort of relationship. I wouldn't know firsthand, of course, because I'm not close with them, but I would assume that they have a cordial relationship.
So you haven't heard any problems with them or with anybody else?
Well, there is tale that he had some information regarding Diesel's wife.
And Diesel's wife would be?
His sister.
Okay. Can you elaborate on that any?
I cannot. I just know that there was some deeper information there. I didn't ask. I didn't want to get involved in anyone's business,
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty, ma'am. Well, we appreciate your time,
Thank you.
and I'll let you get back to your work. Did you have any problem with us contacting you again?
No, that would be fine.
And you're always at the library, so we know where to see you. We need to get all of you.
Yes, once it opens, I'll be here.
Okay. All right. I appreciate your time, Ms. Poole.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.